Kris Ruby is back. Kris Ruby,
president of the Ruby Media Group.
Kristen Ruby,
social media expert,
CEO of Ruby Media, Kris Ruby.
No platform is really immune to hacks anymore. People really thought, Apple, this can't happen at all, and now over 250,000 people with iPhones are really affected with this. So you have to really be careful.
Public relations, advertising, PR, social, it all gets cut first when there's a recession, when things are not going up. What we're seeing is people are bringing that back right now.
And these optical illusions and brain busters that people are so obsessed with, you used to be able to just look at them in the comfort of your own home or even in school. And now, because it's social media, it goes viral so fast and people want to share divisive content.
Kris Ruby, you spend your life in this world and yet you seem so effervescent and sharp. How do you do that?
Apple's promised investors revenue growth since we haven't, we've seen a steady decline in the sales for iPhone. So I think that's one of the reasons why they're coming back, and the market has become so much more competitive right now in the smartphone space.
Don't panic. I think this is actually a really good time to refine your portfolio, look at other things that you may have wanted to get but may not have been able to.
The first thing you want to do is you really want to review the reviewer. So you want to look at their digital footprint. Have they, what else have they written online on other sites? So you also want to look at how many reviews has this person written. If they've written a ton, chances are it's a good review. If they leave a review everywhere they travel, yes, trust them. But if they've only left 2, not so good. If you look at the correlation here between criminal pathology and technology, right? And how before just killing someone, it's become that it's not enough anymore. It's not the old days before social media where someone would kill someone and that was enough for them. Now they have to broadcast it. They need a selfie. You have to stop retweeting.
and you have to stop it. She said, stop it.
Stop
Enough.
favoring it.
Stop favoring it. That's
Stop
right.
sharing
Not at all.
You really have to not respond to every single comment that you see online. And I think the more Trump is doing that, the more hot water he's getting himself into.
My personal view on all of this is, again, about long-term capital appreciation and long-term growth strategy.
I think you've got to be careful with doing things like that. I mean, he's going to make a lot of enemies with the way that he's tweeting and giving out phone numbers and everything else he's doing. But the truth is, Trump is being Trump.
I completely disagree with Taylor Swift, and I think she needs to stick to what she's good at, right, which is music, and not advice on relationships. That study was completely flawed. We have to compete too, okay? It's not just the men that have to get back out there and jump in their game again. What about the women? I think it's a brilliant idea. I don't necessarily think that it's going to work, or they'll ever be able to raise the amount of money that they need to in a short amount of time, but I think it shows how far crowdfunding has really come, and I think it shows a whole other side of social media.
You're literally dying in the process of taking a selfie, which is just unbelievable. And I also feel like it showed that narcissism has reached a new level in our country. We're dying.
I think it's a good move for them. They're trying to look for ways to increase revenue, so I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think that they should do it. Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You create an account, download it, put it on your phone, and then create separate folders, and then it will sync straight to your computer.
So you have to start taking social media and putting it into context. So rather than just believing everything that someone writes or tweets, right, think about how do their actions align with that, and then maybe you'll know the story. That's my take on this.
I feel you, Kris, and I feel like I'm going to be calling you back a lot.
We're talking to Kris Ruby, social media and technology expert. Maybe there's a job for you in the White House, Kris. I'm just saying.
I think Donald Trump is really doing a lot with his administration in terms of moving social media forward. I mean, based on what he just did here, he completely cut out the press. And honestly, who needs traditional media when you have over 15 million Twitter followers? And that's what he's showing.
What we're also seeing now is this is not just Apple. This is not just Ashley Madison. This isn't just Sony. This can happen to anyone, whether you're doing something bad or good.
Kris Ruby, Kristen Ruby.
From Ruby Media Group.
Social media agency.
Kris Ruby, Instagram,
Social media.
Kris Ruby,
Public relations, Twitter.
social media and tech expert.
Kris Ruby.